making $36 trading a couple of stocks. Okay. The stocks in this recap are SQ, Apple, AMD. I'm splitting it up into stocks and then S&P and Dow in the next recap. So stay tuned for that. We have some bigger numbers there, but we're going to cover it. Okay. So I will admit that this is probably, for a day, it was up 388 on the day. For a day, this is probably the best I would say I would, with my sizing that I've done, trading this much. Usually doesn't work out this way, but I'll get into it. First things first, this is a silver trade from the day before, so really there were 5 trades today. Too many, but some good setups out there. So, I mean, I'm going to take them, and it is what it is. And some of them worked, some of them didn't work. I managed risk pretty well, and we do what we got to do. Not to mention that the silver trade was a swing, and that's technically counting towards this day, which if you got rid of that, we'd be up like fucking $520, which is pretty cool. Okay. So SQ, we lost 85. Let's cover that. Then we'll go to Apple. Then we'll go to AMD, kind of in the progression that they were taken. 8:48 Central Time, 8:53 Central Time, then 9:26 Central Time, and then we go beyond that. Okay. So SQ. Why did I pull up SQ? Not a stock that I tend to day trade. I'll be honest. I have not day traded this stock in a long time. If I have ever have, I don't know. I don't even know. But I entered on the breakout right up in here. So I see SQ, I draw my line, and I'm like, okay, let's go. Where did this idea come from? It's been on my watch list, my risk on watch list for a long time. So it's been there. I've been watching it. It's not like I've never seen this stock before. I've been watching it for a while. We just got like a massive risk on thrust yesterday. So I'm like, I kind of want to look at risk on. And this morning, a lot of other stocks were kind of flat to down. And I'm like, I kind of want to look at risk on. Now, if I'm being completely honest, is it the best big picture setup? Not really. But based off the thrust we had the past 2 days, I kind of like it. And if you zoom out big picture, what do I also see, which I also like a lot? This. It just so happens that my breakout to new high a day was on the top end of this massive volume node, which what do we tend to see? Not all the time. Trading is not, it's not 100%. It never is. But we tend to see price move a bit faster, more aggressively through areas of lower volume. So it made sense. It fit the criteria, and I was looking what I was looking for, and that's the deal. High volume, was the volume there? Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like, it was good, actually. And like going back so far at the open of the day, the first couple half hour or so, really good volume compared to the past couple of days. So, I mean, I like that. So it met the criteria that I was looking for. Had a good setup, but just didn't go. Simple as that. Just didn't go for it. Kind of got faked out, and then it hit my stop loss and came back up, and now it's been just kind of fucking around, whatever, all day. So take the $85 loss, and we move on. That was taken on the $10,000 account. Just to make sure things are clear, all of these stock trades were on the $10,000 funded account. The trades in the next recap video were on the $25,000 not funded account that I'm still working towards getting funded on those. Okay, so that was SQ. Then we move on to Apple, which made 121.90, so 122 on the Apple trade. This is a really good trade. Now, I was a little bit hesitant to trade Apple because if you guys know from my history, Apple is not my favorite stock to trade. I'll be honest with you. It tends to do me dirty. It hasn't been the best. But what do we get? We got a very, very good looking setup here this morning. Really good. I mean, I like the lower wicks. I like the clear area of resistance. It was one of the strongest, if not the strongest stock at the time on the day, chart-wise, with the strength. And the S&P started to push up. I liked it. It was relatively strong. We went in and we almost hit our take profit in 5 minutes, which is crazy. I will say that I almost top ticked. Like my sell was at, I can tell you, I targeted 231.47, and I legitimately got that. Like I actually think I got that. Yeah, my sell 231.47 is where I got filled. And it, like, what did Apple peak out at on the day, or at least that first thrust? It literally hit 231.50. So it pretty much hit the exact spot I was looking for. And I like to sell a couple cents below the psychological, like the whole numbers, the 50-cent level, the 25-cent, or the whole dollar. So I like to just make sure that I do that in the first place. They did just come back down, retest the breakout point, and then go higher. So I would have potentially been able to make money. However, I would have moved my stop loss to break even. So this would have been a very close call to hitting my stop loss at break even, and then potentially causing a $0 trade if this did not hit. So sometimes it works out that way. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. I don't know. It is what it is. And then that was it. The trade was roughly a 1.7 to 1 risk reward. 1.7 to 1. Stop loss was under the low of the initial breaking candle. I like that. I sometimes I go with the bottom of the wicks. In this case, I went with the bottom of these candles because the bottom of the wicks showed some good buyers. And if we fell below the bottom of this candle, I wouldn't like the breakout anyway. It would be a false breakout in my book. So that was the Apple trade. All right. So that's that. And then last but not least on the stock trades today, AMD, which this one, man, we had the potential for a freaking big day. Add an extra 120 to the top of this P&L on the day is what we potentially had, and you'll see why. So wait, what did I just do? I just got rid of it. Here it is. The AMD was a break even. $0 P&L, simple as that. I held the trade for a little over an hour, almost an hour and a half roughly. What happened? Why? Here it is, guys. I mean, oh baby, let me tell you. The trade that I was looking for, originally, I did move these numbers around. It didn't really affect the trade, but I moved my targets around a little bit. So I originally had a target, like see this line right here is a 2.4 or 2.14 to 1. That's above the highs of this blue line is the highs of a couple of days ago. If you look at the daily chart on AMD, I mean, beautiful. I mean, this thing is coiling up. I'm like, oh, if we break those highs, we can have a potential for a really big day. So that's why I like the trade. That's why I ended up putting my target a bit higher, because I was like, oh, if we get a breakout, we can get a nice thrust, and I'll take an extra, couple of dollars of gains or a couple cents of gains on the stock. But really good trade, right? One of the strongest stocks in the day, breaking out of this consolidation. I enter on this candle. Great, simple. Play it out as it is. You're like, oh, well, dude, never hit your stop loss. Yeah, no. We did get stopped out break even here. Okay. Now, why? Because we were more than halfway to my target. So I moved my stop loss to break even, and I literally walked away, went to go eat lunch. So I didn't see what happened, if I'm being completely honest with you. But my original target, I'm not kidding, I can make it up or whatever, was 186.69. Okay. Why 69? I don't know. Sometimes it likes to just be weird. But the blue line is at 187. So I was like, okay, for roughly a 1.5 to 1 risk reward, I can target just under the recent highs, which would be a logical good spot to target in my view, because I don't want to expect a breakout, but I'm looking for up towards those highs and then some rejection, some resistance to occur. If we break through there, great. If you scale out, maybe it could be a scale out, and then you could go for more, and then you can ride it up if it worked out in a perfect world. It did not. But that was the idea. And when I tell you that this wick hit 186.61, I was 7 cents away, 8 cents away from my take profit, literally from hitting. Then as it started to consolidate and came back down and did this and held that, I thought that was the back test. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I moved my stop to break even. So I was like, maybe we're going to get stopped out. And it bounced aggressively. And on this candle, I said, okay, you know what? That's when I looked at the bigger picture. I saw the upper wicks. I saw the potential for this to be now a new kind of consolidation flag here building. If this breaks, we might get a break to a new high of the recent rally, and that could be a really big move. And so that's why I moved my target up. And that was only done after I had moved my stop to break even. I don't usually do that, and I don't recommend moving your stop loss down. The only thing, that's like the biggest golden rule. Never move a stop loss down, only move a stop loss up. And if you want to move a take profit up, not a problem. If I keep doing that, then I'll obviously recognize that in my trading logs. But something to think about. Either way, it wouldn't have mattered, because it's not like we hit my original target and then I just moved my target higher. No, my original target still never hit. So if I had seen it get up here, make a push, hit this level, and then reject massively, I may have just taken the profits off at that point, saying, okay, just gonna get the hell out of this thing. It's testing it and it's rejecting, you know. But we never actually hit my original take profit anyway, so it is what it is. But that's what I was saying, is that this had the potential. Like, I thought it had really good potential, and the market squeezed out to new highs too. So we did go higher, but we hit literally that exact point and rejected. But if we broke that, I felt pretty good that we could have a really big move on AMD, maybe up towards 188, 189, even dare we say 190 if we really got going. Kind of like how the S&P went this afternoon. AMD just did not decide to take part, you know, in that aggressive move, which is, you know, okay, whatever. So that's what I was saying, like, oh, could have been a bigger day. But that's the recap. All the trades, by the way, now TradeZella has connected my other broker, so all the trades are now back in and logged. We are currently up $591 on the month so far with a 44% win rate. I like that. Average win-loss is over 2, which is beautiful. That's like really freaking good in my opinion. And yeah, we're rolling. So I'll leave a link to TradeZella below like always. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.